stands for agriculture and art related services. B stands for bridge. Sir, C stands for cab. D stands for diplomatic mission. And E stands for electricity. We are in the electricity right up. So today we have to start with F. F stands for financial services. These are the exemptions relating to F. Services provided by RBI is taxable, taxable, taxable. Earlier it was exempted, now they have made into taxable. Number 2, the exemption number 2, services provided by way of extending deposit, loan or advances for which the consideration has been received by way of interest or discount other than interest involved in the credit card services and interstate purchase or sale of foreign currency among authorized banks and authorized dealers are exempt from. For the new people, my dear lovable students, earlier any services provided by RBI was exempted, now it has become taxable. Number 2, if you are extending deposit, loan or advances, for example, if you are putting some money in the bank or if you are taking loan from a bank, my dear lovable students, for that you will be paying consideration as interest or discount, then there is no GST. Other than interest or discount, anything, it is liable to GST. And among banks or bank and authorized dealers, or among authorized dealers if they are purchasing foreign currency, then for that any consideration has been paid, it is exempt from GST. I am coming to exemption number 3. Service provided by an acquiring bank to any person in relation to settlement of an amount up to 2,000 in a single transaction transacted through credit card, debit card, charge card or any other payment card. If you are going to any shop and if you are purchasing anything and if you are using any card and the point of sale machine is some other person, some other banks, and the card may be relates to some other bank. So the money in this card will be transferred from the card to the NSR, some other bank. So one bank is providing service to another bank. So what they are saying, if the transaction value is 2,000 rupees in a single transaction, then we are not saying that for the goods or services no GST nu sollala. In between the inside, the bank what they are providing services, it is exempt from. That's what service provided by an acquiring bank to any person in relation to settlement of an amount up to how much? In a single transaction transacted through debit card, credit card, charge card or any other payment card are exempt from GST. Next one, service provided by an intermediary of financial services located in a multi-services SEZ with an IFSC status to a customer located outside India for international financial service in currency other than Indian rupee, that is foreign currency basically. For example, if you are an intermediary of a financial services located in multi-services SEZ having IFSC status and if you are providing service to a non-resident in foreign currency, it is exempt from GST. Sir, it is exempt from GST. For that, we are having explanation and exemption number 5. Service provided by a banking company to basic savings bank deposit account holders under the Pradhana Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana are exempt from GST. So these are the 5 exemption, my dear lovable students, because financial services, financial F, so 5 exemptions are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm recalling services provided by an RBI is taxable, taxable, taxable. Services provided by way of extending deposit, loan or advances insofar as the consideration is received by way of interest or discount other than credit card services. Inter-sale or purchase of foreign currency between bank, authorized dealers, banks and authorized dealers are exempt from. Services provided by an acquiring bank to any person in relation to settlement of an amount up to 2,000 in a single transaction through debit card, credit card, charge card or any other payment card are exempt from. Service provided by an intermediary of financial services located in multi-services SEZ with IFSC status to a customer located for international financial services in currency other than Indian rupee are exempt from. Service provided by a banking company to basic savings bank deposit account holder under the Pradhana Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana are exempt from. I'm moving into the next one. G stands for goods. We know that exemption number 1, transportation of goods by road except GTA and courier agency are exempt from. So if you are transporting goods by road from one place to another except GTA and courier agency are exempt from GST, and if you are transporting goods by inland waterways are exempt from GST. Right, sir. Exemption number 2, services provided by transportation of goods by air from a place outside India till the customs station of clearance in India are exempt from. So you are bringing goods from outside India by way of air to India, it is exempt from GST. This is exemption number 3. Service way of transportation of rail or vessel from one place in India to another place in India of the following goods: That means if you are transporting specified goods, my dear lovable students, through rail or vessel, are exempt from GST. The specified goods are relief material. Railway equipment are taxable. Defense or military equipment, sir, agriculture produce, milk, salt and food grains, including flour, rice and pulses, organic manure, newspaper and magazine. So if you are transferring these specified goods by way of rail or vessel within one place in India to another place in India, it is enough from GST. Now exemption number 4 relating to goods, supply of services associated with transit cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, that is landlocked countries, are exempt from GST. So you are providing services, supply of services associated with any cargo, transit cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, landlocked countries, are exempt from GST. This exemption earlier also was there, but it was in Z, others category. But since it was related to transit cargo goods, now I have shifted that to goods, which is a value addition from my side. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. So supply of services, tell me. Supply of services associated with what? Transit cargo to Nepal or Bhutan. Because both Nepal and Bhutan are landlocked countries, correct? Which are enough from GST. Movement of empty containers from Nepal or Bhutan after delivery of goods there is a service associated with the transit cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, and therefore covered by the exemption. For example, if you are taking goods from India to Nepal or Bhutan by landlocked, sir, it is enough from GST. Exempt from GST. After dropping the goods in Nepal and Bhutan, if the lorry is coming back, even that is also exempt from GST, because, sir, in order to drop the goods only, they have went there and now they are coming back. So what is the exemption? Supply of services. Tell me. Supply of services associated with the transit cargo, associated with the to Nepal and Bhutan, because they are landlocked countries, are exempt from GST. Now the lorry is in Nepal and Bhutan. After unloading the goods, it has to come back, correct? So movement of empty containers means empty lorry from Engrindu and Engrindu. After delivery of goods there is a service associated with transit cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, and there is therefore covered by exemption, my dear lovable students. With that, G stands for goods comes to an end. We know that transportation of goods by road, except what and what? GTN. That means GTA is liable to GST, courier agency is liable to GST. But don't think that any services provided by GTA is liable to GST. GTA is having certain exception, my dear lovable students. So this is the RCM. I am referring RCM here. We have already done that. Supply of service by a GTA in respect of transportation of goods by road to any factory or society or any cooperative society or any registered person or any body corporate, partnership firm, whether registered or not, any casual taxable person located in, we know that the 7 specified person located in taxable territory is the person liable to pay GST, right? Sir, on a reverse charge basis, forward charge in case of GTA paying tax at 12%. Once the GTA has decided to adopt what? Voluntary registration, taking registration under section 22, hello sir, then RCM provisions will not be applicable, only FCM will be applicable. Explanation: person liable to pay freight is the service recipient. Who's booking the consignment does not matter. Who's paying the freight matters with regard to GTA services. Sir, RCM not applicable if the recipient registered only for the purpose of TDS. This is an exemption under section 11, correct? If the GTA has provided services to a registered person who has taken registration only for the purpose of deduction of under section 51, then my dear lovable students, RCM provisions will not be. This is an amendment, sir, with regard to GTA. Sir, nothing big to discuss and all. Have we talked about author? Sir, author is having an option. Generally, author services are RCM services. But if the author want, he can travel through the FCM. For that, he has to take registration. He has to inform the jurisdiction CGST or SGST commissioner that he is desirous to travel through the forward charge. And once he enter into that, what? Forward charge, he cannot come back during that financial year, right? Because at least for 1 year you have to travel through the inner charge mechanism. The same 1 year limit as brought to GTA also. That's what the amendment. If GTS exercise the option to pay tax under inner charge for a particular financial year, it shall be deemed that option has been exercised for the next and future NI year also. That means once they adopted what? FCM, it is for lifelong. It is for lifelong. Unless the GTA files a declaration that it wants to revert to the NHR reverse charge mechanism during 1st January to 31st March of the preceding NIR financial year. So in the immediately preceding previous year, so this is an amendment for which is relevant for our examination, newly added, my dear lovable students. What they are saying, if there is a GTA is having option of FCM, that we already know. But now in 1 year, if they adopt what? FCM, it is for lifelong. Unless they are reverting back, saying that I am not interested to travel through what? FCM. Sir, if they don't want FCM in the immediately preceding previous year, that is January, February, March, that is on the last quarter number 4, correct? They have to inform to the government that we are reverting back from the FCM to the RCM. Inime engalukku enna venda. That means once they adopt what? FCM, it is lifelong, it will be applicable for lifelong. So it is a very important amendment this time, nothing big. So sometimes they may ask a procedural question. So I'm reading once again. If a GTA has dashed the option, excise the option to pay tax under NHR for a particular financial year, it shall be deemed that option has been exercised for the next and future financial year. Also, unless the GTA files a declaration that it wants to revert to the reverse charge mechanism during 1st January to 31st March of the preceding financial year. So what is the one-line summary? So once GTA has adopted FCM, it will be applicable for the year of adoption and also for the future years. Hello, sir? But in future, if they are feeling that they are not interested to travel through FCM, they want to revert back to RCM in the immediately preceding previous year, that is in the last quarter of the last year. Sir, if for example next April is going to start, means in January, February, March, yes, to inform the government that I don't want FCM. From 1st of April onwards, sir, please make it as RCM. Let the 7 specified person who are situated in the taxable territory pay the tax on RCM basis. Are you really with me? So now this is the GTA reverse charge that we already know. Person liable to pay NSR tax under the GTA services. GTA paying tax at 8%, 5%. Then RCM. You have to check whether it is to 7 specified person or other than 7 specified person. If it is to 7 specified person, then 7 specified person located in taxable territory is the person liable to pay tax. Sir, if it is other than 7 specified person, that the recipient is other than 7 specified person, unregistered individual end user customer, it is NF from GST. Whereas if the GTA is paying tax at 8%, 12%, that means they adopted, for that only amendment we have talked about. Once they adopted FCM, it is lifelong unless and until they are saying that we are not interested to travel through FCM, please make us RCM. But for that they have to ask in January, February. So recipient is one of the specified person, let it be anyone, my dear lovable students, it is on FCM basis, correct? But if the recipient is other than 7 specified person, that is individual end user customer, it is exempt from. This is more or less, sir, the repetition of what we have done in the last class 9353, right? Now for GTA, they are having specific exemption. Services provided by a goods transport agency, way of transportation in a carriage of relief material, defense or military equipment, agricultural produce, milk, salt and food grains including flour, rice and pulses, organic manure, newspaper or magazine registered with the register of newspaper are exempt from. That means these are the specified goods. If specified goods are transported through GTA, then it's exempt from GST. Exemption number 2. This is what we have just connected there. Service provided by a GTA to a person, unregistered person, including an unregistered casual taxable person, other than the following. That means if these guys are unregistered, my dear lovable students, this exemption will not be applicable. Because for this guy, compulsory registration under section 24 will be applicable, right? Yes, sir. Number 1, factory, society, cooperative society, body corporate, partnership firm, whether registered or not, unregistered casual taxable person, registered casual taxable person, because unregistered casual taxable person exemption can be enjoyed, correct? So registered casual taxable person, then it is exempt from GST. If the service provider is GTA and service recipient is a unregistered person, unregistered person, sir, is exempt from But this exemption will not be applicable for factory, society, cooperative society, body corporate, partnership firm, whether registered or not, and registered casual taxable person. For these guys, this exemption will not be. And exemption number 3, service provided by a GTA by of transportation of goods in a goods carriage to department or establishment of central government, state government, or local authority or governmental agency which has taken registration under the CGST Act solely for the purpose of deducting under section 51 and for making taxable supply of goods or services are exempt from GST. Exemption number 4, services by of giving on hire to a GTA, that is a means of transport, correct? For example, உங்ககிட்ட ஒரு பஸ் இருக்கு, அத ஒரு ஸ்டேட் டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் அண்டர்டேக்கிங் நீ வாடகை கூட்டேனா having a capacity of more than 12 passengers, it is exempt from GST. உங்ககிட்ட ஒரு லாரி இருக்கு, அந்த லாரி நீ GTA க்கு வாடகை கூட்டேனா, it is exempt from GST. Right? So that's it with regard to the GTA services, my dear lovable students. Sir, courier agency services. What do you mean by courier agency? Courier agency means any person engaged in door-to-door transportation of time-sensitive documents. Courier, that is professional courier are there. They will be taking time sensitive documents from one place to another. Goods or article utilizing the service of a person either directly or indirectly to carry or accompany such documents, goods or article. The main difference between courier agency and GTA is that, sir, courier agency does not issue. So the one line summary of the entire discussion is, if consignment note issued na GTA, if consignment note not issued na courier agency. Hello sir. Sir, individual truck or tempo operators who do not issue any consignment note are not covered within the term GTA. Roadside எல்லாம் நிறைய truck or tempos இருப்பாங்க. அவங்க என்ன இஷ்யூ பண்ணலைனா consignment note இஷ்யூ பண்ணலைனா அவங்க என்ன கிடையாது, GTA கிடையாது. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்னா நம்மளோட main exemption will be applicable. Services provided by way of transportation of goods by road. By what? Road is exempt from GST. இப்ப நம்ம பக்கத்து தெருவுல ஒருத்தர் வந்து சார் ஒரு ஏஸ் வண்டி வச்சிருக்காரு, அவர் பக்கத்து தெருவுல இருந்து பக்கத்து தெருவுக்கு குட்ச கடத்துறாரு, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்குன்னா ஹலோ சார், இட் இஸ் என்ன ஃப்ரம் ஜிஎஸ்டி, எக்ஸாம் ஃப்ரம் ஜிஎஸ்டி. கடத்துறாருன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாதா, மூவ் பண்றாரு சார், டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்றாரு, ஓகே ரைட். எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் கார்கோ சர்வீசஸ் courier agency is taxable. Sir, if a courier agency is providing express cargo services, it is liable to what? GST. It is commercial. Sir, Angadia liable under the NS services man. Courier services. This is circular, sir, which is saying that this will be taxable. Are you all really with me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, so what? A stands for agriculture and art related services. B stands for bridge. C stands for cap. D stands for diplomatic mission. E stands for F stands for G stands for goods, GTA and courier agency. A bigger slot, correct? Have the proper revision in this slot. Then H stands for healthcare services. I stands for immobile property and insurance. J stands for jungle. K stands for knowledge. L stands for legal services. We'll be doing the last exemption, my dear lovable students. H stands for healthcare services. Healthcare services are ambulance services. A stands for ambulance services. Now, biomedical waste treatment are taxable. Cord blood bank services are taxable. Healthcare services provided by clinical establishment, authorized medical practitioner and NMedics. Sir, services by way of healthcare services by a clinical establishment, authorized medical practitioner or paramedics are exempt from GST. However, the above exemption shall not apply to service provided by an establishment by way of providing room other than ICU, CCU, CCCU, NICU, correct? Yes, sir. Having room charges exceeding how much rupees per day to a person receiving care services. This is a very important NSR point. So you have to check whether the immovable property, service provided by hospitals classified into two categories. Rooms of ICU, CCU, CCCU, NICU, irrespective of the charges amount, it is enough from GST, exempt from GST. But the other rooms is classified into two categories. Whether the rooms exceed how much rupees per day, 5,000 rupees per day, exceeds 5,000 rupees per day, taxable. Otherwise, it is exempted. Paka? Service provided by way of transportation of patients in an ambulance other than those specified in one above are exempt from. So ambulance service, whether it has been provided by the healthcare or any other person, it is enough from GST. Even ANM can also provide ambulance services, it is enough from GST. Exempt from GST. Exemption number 2, service provided by operator of biomedical treatment, waste treatment. Earlier it was exempted, now it become taxable. What is the thing is this, sir? H stands for healthcare services, sir. In that H stands for healthcare services, we are talking about service provided by healthcare services, but this is a service provided to the healthcare services, correct? Apollo Kaveri, is there a lot of operations are going on there, sir? For that operations, my dear lovable students, human biomedical waste will come out. It has to be properly disposed, correct? Otherwise new disease will come, sir. You know, they won't dispose that, sir. Who will dispose? They will keep some agent, they will give that biomedical waste and they will dig a big NSR pit and they will put all those biomedical waste and they will NSR finish it off it. So earlier any services provided by those people to the hospital was exempt from GST. Now government start understanding that exemption is not required because that service is not provided by the healthcare services, not by the hospitals. It is provided to the healthcare services. So let them collect GST from the hospital because any services provided by hospital are not exempted. Sir, certain services are taxable also, like cosmetic services, sir. Beauty treatment services, like that NSR services, sir, are taxable. So they are collecting output tax from the patients, correct? And for the room rent, if it is 5,000 rupees or more, they are liable to collect what? GST. So output tax collected is there for the hospital. Hello. So let them pay GST to the biomedical waste treatment. Let them knock off, take it as ITC and balance. Let them pay to the government of India. Hello, sir. Service provided by cord blood bank, way of preservation of stem cell or any other service in relation to such preservation are enough from GST. Exempt from GST. Now the government understood that only people who are having lot of money will do all these stuffs, correct? Sir, let them pay what? GST. Now it is taxable. Now it is what? Taxable. Earlier it was exempt. A service by veterinary clinic in relation to health care of birds or animals. Why are you talking only about humans? Sir, if you are a hospital who are taking care of the health of animals and birds, that are also GST. Service provided by rehabilitational professionals. Service provided by rehabilitation professional. You are addicted to liquor, you are addicted to narcotic drugs, you are addicted to what? Tension, pressure. Sir, you are studying CA full time. So service provided by rehabilitation professional, recognized under the Rehabilitation Council in India 1992 by way of rehabilitation, therapy, counseling or such other activity as covered under the said act, where at medical establishment, education institution, rehabilitation center established by central government, state government or union territory or an entity registered under 12AA or 12AB of the Income Tax Act are exempt from GST. Now the question arises, sir, the abnormality or disease or ailment of infertility is treated using ART procedure such as IVF. It is clarified that services with IVF are also covered under the definition of NCare services for the purpose of above exemption notification. So after marriage, if you are not getting NSR child, sir, now manual process they will be doing IVF. Hello, sir. Now people started saying that is it a commercial activity or normal healthcare services? It is not a commercial activity because generally, normally குழந்தை பிறக்கிறதா இருந்தா யாரும் போய் IVF பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, கரெக்டா? யாருக்கு நேச்சுரலா நடக்கலையோ அவங்க தான் என்ன சார் மெடிக்கல் ட்ரீட்மெண்டோட ஹெல்ப் எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க. அப்போ ஒரு ஃபீவர் வந்தா என்னவோ அதே தான், யாருமே ஆசைப்பட்டு போய் IVF பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. So it is also healthcare services, man. It is also exempt from GST. We are up to H, my dear lovable students. If you are revising along with me, if you are spending a little time, if you have attended my class, then everything will be revising. And if you are spending around 50-20 minutes to revise along with me, you can be with the subject of indirect tax, and revision of the provision is the key to success. For that, I always saying in the morning, what is the key to success is the consistency is the key to success. If you are studying one day and not studying for another 3-4 days, or studying for 3-4 days and if you are not doing for 1 or 2 days, the flow will get affected. So we are in the last 45 days or we are in the last some extra days. So do that very happily. Sir, enjoy your studies. If you are enjoying, if you are getting benefited in the morning revision, sir, share your happiness. By sharing your happiness, it will automatically motivate everyone, sir, to see that. So study very well. We will try to complete the remaining exemption by tomorrow's class. We'll meet at the appropriate time. Till that, thank you. Bye-bye from ANM.